I'm Duncan Ferguson and you're watching Toffee TV.
Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the instant match reaction to Watford 3, Everton 2. I don't know what to say. It's getting worse. It's getting much worse. Just really difficult to do these now because there's 94 minutes of rubbish football again. Doesn't feel like we're going anywhere. It doesn't feel like we're moving forward. It feels like we're going backwards. There's no heart in the team. There's no steel in the team. There's no pattern of play. There's no support. They don't look like they're fighting for each other. They look like 11 individuals, and it's all a bit of a mess. The team formation, the team lineup, James McCarthy brought back in. I don't know why, he's garbage, but he was put in, I think, to probably try and make us compact. Seamus Coleman started, should never have started. It should have been Holgate. Coleman has been rubbish for me lately. I think the biggest thing to come out of it for me today is that I honestly wouldn't care if most of them left. As long as Garner stayed, I really don't care about the rest of them. Watched them for too many years, produced the same bollocks every year. The bottlers, a lot of them. No effort, no heart. But, you can pick holes in that side. Joel Robles coming against West Ham the other week, we won 2-0. The only game we've won in 10. Didn't put a foot wrong, made big saves, back out the team. Stecklenberg comes back in. Nah, not having it. Just not having him at all. Like last week should have been dropped after Chelsea, should have been dropped after Burnley, should have been dropped last week after United. And again today, and then second and third goals. Nah, I want to see me goalie trying. Not just standing, throwing his arms up. And I might be being harsh, but I don't care. I'm at the end of my tether with them because I'm just fed up watching the same set of players produce these same pathetic performances week after week. Delafeu came in, Morales. All the Evertonians who were pleased that Balassi was out. We offers nothing. But Morales does apparently. It's all opinions, of course. Mine is Morales is garbage, absolute rubbish. He's done. He's done. He probably just needs to move on and reignite his career somewhere else because he's got no future at Everton Football Club. He's got the heart the size of a pea. People slag Delafeu. Morales is exactly the same. Jerry come in. I thought Jerry done all right. At least he was dangerous. At least he looked like he wanted to get involved in the game. It's just terrible. Waiting for that reaction to start. You're waiting for them to come out and show. I tweeted before the game that people were negative. And you're like, well, we've got a late goal against United. We nearly won it. Let's take that into today. That might be the starting point, and it wasn't. And you look now and you go, those people who were negative, they've got every right to be. They've got every right to be negative because there isn't one shoot of recovery there at all. There's not one grain where you can look and go, that's happening though. This bit isn't great, but at least that bit's sorted. We talked about how he's tried to make us more defensively tight. Well, he played 3 defender midfielders today. We've conceded 3 goals. The defence is horrendous. Ashley Williams is having a nightmare. Coleman is having a nightmare. Funes Mori competes for some things and then lets cheap things get away from him. And you can take it back. We scored a good goal. Lukaku does really well. Wins it, holds it up, lays it off, and then spins into the middle. And Gareth Barry plays a lovely first-time ball. And it's a brilliant finish by Rom. And that's what he does really, really well. He takes it beautifully, knocks it into the net, and we're 1-0 up. And you're thinking, okay, if you haven't really started, that's the first time we've got through their defence and we cut through them like knife through butter. So let's do more of that. We didn't do any more of that. Their goal, I done an emotive tweet. And I should have my phone nowhere near me on a match day, away games. I don't get it out really for the home games. It stays in my pocket, but I had it in a tweet, and I tweeted that Lukaku's to blame, and I'll qualify why. People often when goals go in, some fans just see the end result, so they just see the ball go in the box, someone not marking goal, they're to blame. I proportion the blame to Lukaku because we have the ball on the edge of their penalty area. He has the ball at his feet. He's got 2 or 3 passes on. He hesitates, runs into traffic. It's it. Now, okay, gets closed down. So he just toe pokes it to nobody. Now, that's okay. You crowd it out. Run after the ball. Go and press the lad who's got the ball so that he can't look up and go, I'll just dink this up, which is what happened. There was no pressure. Ron just kind of went, there was no movement, left it. Ball come to their centre-back. He's knocked it up. They've beat Coleman all afternoon in the air, or, they won everything in the air. They had it. It goes wide. And then once it gets wide, Ashley Williams is fully to blame for letting that fella who hasn't scored a goal for 6 years, by the way, run across. I mean, it's a lovely finish, but if Williams goes tight to him, he can't do anything. Williams has got no clue where he is, which is, he's going backwards now. We come in and look great, and he was the organiser, and he was winning things, and you were like, got a proper defender here. And he's gone backwards, and you're like, there's nobody doing their job well enough apart from Garner. Barry was okay, but deteriorated. Garner was brilliant and then went off. So I don't know whether he was injured or I don't know. But nobody's doing their job. They level it, and then it's all about them. We finished the half with one shot at goal, one on target, one shot we scored. You get in, you think, like, you'll change it now because that clearly isn't good enough. We've been slow, we haven't created anything, and he just leaves it. He leaves it. We get caught in possession. Garner, this time, poor as the ball, can play a pass, doesn't hesitate. Barami closes him down. Garner kicks out, concedes a free kick. The cross comes in, it's a free header. Coleman leaves the centre-back. He gets a free header. Stekelenburg throws the arms up as it goes about 3 inches away from his leg. And it's 2-1 to Watford, and you knew then when that went in, it was game over. Because we just looked flat. They score again. We give another cheap free kick away. The cross is, back to the back post. They knew that if they put it on Coleman, it's a free header every time. The lad comes in, gets a free header, he's on his own, heads it down, Stekelenburg saves it. But the corner, that Okaka, I think it was his name. I think I had him on FIFA about a couple of years ago for Inter Milan. I got him in. Anyway, the corner comes in, free header, heads it. The goalkeeper's got to do better for me. Pushes it into his net, and you 3-1 down against the team that lost 3 of the last 4, struggling to score goals, and isn't doing anything other than run around. And people will probably have a go at me over Lukaku because I know that he's basically the untouchable one in our team. For some people, you can't say a word about him other than he's amazing, the best striker they've ever seen in lives. He's a great goal scorer, but he's got no work rate at all. And if he's going to play as the lone striker, then that's not good enough for us because we can't have someone who doesn't put people under pressure. That Okaka for them, I'm not saying I'd rather have him than Ron, but he ran around. He was everywhere, closed us down, put us under pressure, scored 2 goals, didn't stop running. And that's what Ron's got to get. The manager's getting the blame from me because Romelu Lukaku is 23, I think. He's never going to change. He's not going to all of a sudden become Luis Suarez and run around and put people under pressure. He is what he is. If you give him chances, he will score goals. He won't make them himself, really. Very rarely will he do it himself. And he won't run around and press. To be honest, I thought he ran around today. He's just not very good at pressing. He's okay running into channels, but it's no mistake and no surprise that when Valencia comes on, he looks like a better player already, Ron. He's got a bit more space, and that's what happened with the second goal. Because Lennon puts a good ball in, Valencia's in it, they've got to all of a sudden mark somebody else. Rom's a little bit free, and it's a brilliant header for 3-2, and you're thinking, typical Everton, you give you a little bit of there's a little bit of faint hope with not enough time left. I've seen him do it down the years, 2-0 down, he'll get one on 86, and you think, we might get a draw, and we don't, and, it's 3-1 to 3-2. But it was a turgid performance. It was. The only time we looked lively was the last 15 minutes when he put Valencia on. He took Morales off, who was a passenger, put Lennon on, who gets an assist. But the worrying thing is there's no pattern of play. There doesn't ever seem to be a reaction. They don't look like they've specifically worked on things in training. I just get the opinion I get of Ronald Koeman is that he's made his mind up on most of these players. He doesn't fancy them, and they're just going through the motions, and he's just thinking, see what happens if we can get a draw here and a draw. Get to January and we'll try and bring 3 or 4 more in, and then we'll try and change it. And that's all very well, but these games are coming thick and fast, and we're just losing them. It's 1 win in 10. We ripped Martinez last season for this. Moyes got destroyed when it was 1 win in 4 or 5, and I'll tell you what, a David Moyes side would never have put performance like that in against a Watford team on a bad. They might have done it in isolation, not when they're on a horrendous run. They wouldn't have done. Not a chance. You know, we can't defend properly against Watford. We've got Arsenal, Liverpool coming up, who will just cut through us easily with quick football, little 1-2s, because they're just so much quicker and faster and stronger than what Watford are. And we've conceded 3 today, so the next 2 for me just look like games that are getting written off. They look like they could be 4 or 5-0 to both of them, because I don't know how we can keep those kind of teams out. We're not going to threaten them at the other end unless we play. Maybe we need to go with a 9-0-1 formation and just try and keep the score down and hope that we get a lucky deflection or something, because at this moment, these set of players, it'll be a different set of players on Tuesday, mainly playing 4-5-1 a game in the hope that this time it'll click against a better team. And that's the problem for me. The manager just looks as though he's gone, don't fancy. It's the players who are playing go, why should I run around for him? And he just wants to get rid of him. He's not bothered. And it just looks like it's dead. The whole thing is dead. And that's worrying, isn't it? 4 or 5 months into a new manager, a high-profile manager. That's, to me, that's really, really terrifying. You know, if he was putting kids in, or if he was mixing it up and we were seeing players we hadn't seen, trying different formations, you'd be saying, good, you know, fair enough. He's trying to do something to break this cycle, but it isn't. It's the same. It's the same thing. You know, we've lost to Burnley, Bournemouth, Watford, Southampton already this season. You know, are they teams that people feel is acceptable to lose against? Not for me, not for a team that should be trying to challenge for Europe. You know, I don't know. I mean, Watford, without taking anything away from them, they deserved the victory today. They worked hard. But apart from Troy Deeney, I wouldn't have another Watford player on our side. So down today's performance, I'd have all of them. But in general, if you were looking and picking players out of teams, apart from Troy Deeney, I probably wouldn't touch many of their players, if any more than Troy. So that to me shows that they're all in it for their manager. They're all working hard. When you look at Everton, it's a massive contrast. It feels, and it won't be this, but it feels like Koeman's coming to the end of his reign, and everything that he's saying has stopped working. And people are like, we would be saying if this was in 2 years' time or 18 months, he's done now. It's only a matter of time before he's sacked. It looks like they want him out. The players want him out and nothing's working. And that, to be in December, is scary. So it looks like there's a real breakdown between the manager and the players in terms of, I think they know through his conferences and through what he's saying that they aren't for him and he wants to replace them all. And that can be very dangerous. I remember in 93-94 season when Howard Kendall resigned in the first week in December. I think Everton were 8th or 9th at the time, and Jimmy Gabriel took over for 7 games and we lost 6 of them, and that dragged us into the mire. Now you're looking at this and you're going, Arsenal, potential defeat, Liverpool defeat, Leicester away, the good at home, the terrible away, the good at home, could lose the game, I don't know, you know, it's scary, but you know, and then Hull away, you'd have to say that's a game we'd have to win. But say if those 3 were 3 defeats or another 3 games, that'd a win. That'd be 1 win in 13 13 games. That is terrifyingly bad form. You know, it's a good job we rolled those 4 wins on the run out early on, because we will be in deep stuff at the moment. You know, so yeah, an absolute shambolic display. No surprise to me that when he puts 2 up front, when he gives Rom a hand, we look like a team that can do some damage, that can actually maybe get a couple of goals, you know, and he needs to do away with this 4-5 shite, because it's bollocks. It's not helping Lukaku, because he's not the right type of striker for it. In a 2, give him a chance, he's your man, he will score all day long. He looks happier when Valencia come on. He wanted to run a little bit more, because he got someone to share the workload with. Valencia, I thought, done well again when he come on. But he should have been playing from the start, or at least on a half time. And the manager has to hold his hand up today and say, a good 80% of that was my fault today, you know, because it wasn't good enough. And it's another defeat against the team that I expected us to beat. So, one of those things, you know, Watford, not saying anything away from them, they deserve to win, but for us, it's just getting really, really depressing. So, anyway, let me know what you think in the comments section below. Look out for Ped's instant match reaction. And me and him will be dissecting it on Monday. Try and get someone else in the studio to try and give us a lift, because the pair of us will no doubt not have a clue what to say, because you can't keep saying it'll get better in January, because say it doesn't. We lose Garner in January as well. Anyway, that's my instant match reaction. Catch you next time on Toffee TV.